The dark truth about billionaires is something they never want you to know. They control industries, governments, even entire economies, yet most people have no idea how deep their influence goes. You see their yachts, their mansions, their luxury lifestyles, but that is just the surface. What if I told you that behind the scenes, they play by an entirely different set of rules? Rules that allow them to grow richer while everyone else struggles to survive. Think about this. The richest people in the world do not work for money. They make their wealth multiply while they sleep. Meanwhile, the average person spends their entire life working, hoping to save enough to retire comfortably. But here is the truth. The system was never designed for you to win. Most billionaires did not just get lucky or work harder than everyone else. They understand something that the majority never figure out. They know how to manipulate markets, control industries, and use financial loopholes to keep their money growing forever. And the scariest part, they have no intention of letting you in on their secrets. One of the biggest strategies they use is something called infinite banking. Instead of keeping their money in normal bank accounts, where it earns almost nothing, they place it into special financial vehicles that allow them to borrow against their own wealth without ever technically spending it. This means they can buy assets, avoid taxes, and still have their net worth keep increasing. But that is just the beginning. Billionaires do not pay taxes the way normal people do. The average person earns a salary, pays taxes on that salary, and then tries to save whatever is left. The wealthy do the opposite. They use their money to acquire assets first, and only after those assets grow in value do they figure out ways to legally avoid taxes on them. In fact, some of the richest people in the world pay less in taxes than their own employees. It is not because they are cheating, it is because they know how to use the laws in their favor. And while the media talks about tax rates, loopholes, and fairness, the truth is, the system was built for them from the very beginning. But their power goes beyond money. Billionaires control industries through something called vertical integration. This means they do not just own companies, they own everything that feeds into those companies. Imagine a billionaire owns a popular fast food chain. That is what you see. What you do not see is that they also own the factories that produce the ingredients, the shipping companies that transport them, and the marketing firms that promote them. This allows them to control prices, cut costs, and eliminate competition before it even begins. And if a new competitor ever threatens their dominance, they have two simple options: buy them out or destroy them. Most people do not realize that the brands they love, from clothing to food to entertainment, are often owned by the same handful of billionaires. They control the choices you think you are making. But the most shocking part is how they use debt. The average person is afraid of debt. Billionaires use it as a weapon. They borrow millions, even billions, to acquire more assets, knowing that inflation will make that debt worth less over time. While the middle class struggles with student loans and credit card debt, billionaires use debt to build empires. And then there is influence. When billionaires want something changed, they do not protest, they do not vote, they do not argue. They fund think tanks. They donate to political campaigns. They influence policy from behind closed doors. Laws are not written for the people. They are written for those who can afford to shape them. But here is the question no one is asking. If billionaires have this much power, who is really in control of the world? Governments or the people who fund them? Some billionaires have been quietly buying up farmland, water sources, even entire towns. Some have invested heavily in artificial intelligence, automation, and robotics, industries that could soon replace millions of human jobs. Are they preparing for something we do not know about? And here is the final truth. If you are waiting for someone to come and fix the system, you will be waiting forever. Because the people who benefit the most from this system are the ones keeping it exactly the way it is. But there is one thing billionaires fear. It is not the government. It is not the economy. It is knowledge. The more people understand how money, power, and influence really work, the harder it becomes for them to maintain control. So the question is, now that you know the truth, what will you do with it?